Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dorm Room Sports Chat. I'm your host, Emmy Comia, and I'm joined by our three analysts, Salva Carmona, Evan Murray, and Joey Petrello. Tonight, Arizona loses on an ugly one on the road. Arizona football went on the road last night and for an attempt to upset Oregon in a Pac-12 showdown. The game was all Oregon, though, as the Wildcats were embarrassed 49-0 on national television. The Cats' offense turned the ball over 5 times and were 0 for 4 on the fourth down attempts. Evan, the Arizona football team fell flat last night, and the offense really struggled. Who's to blame here?
Well, I am going to have to say Matt Scott, because he was 22 of 44 passing and 3 interceptions, obviously 0 touchdowns. Defense stepped it up the first half, obviously got tired. The rest of the game couldn't keep our weakness for our strength to Oregon, so obviously, Matt Scott, I think it was nerves, honestly, because the biggest thing that actually bothered me was when he went up for the pass and it hit his helmet. You could just see that was kind of where you're like, oh, he really is nervous, I think.
Yeah, that was not the Matt Scott that we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing him play very well. He was really solid actually the whole season so far. He had the Cats at 3-0, but now it's just not the same anymore. Well, not at least in that game against Oregon. He only completed 50% of his passes. He made errant decisions. He looked nervous, and he had a 76.5 quarterback rating, so not his best game. I do agree with Evan. It probably was nerves. He did look nervous, and I expect him to come out better next time.
Yeah, but the whole team was in that same situation. In fact, when by the time he threw that pass and hit his helmet, it was later on the game when the Cats were getting beat up. So I mean, I would blame Matt Scott within the whole team, because I don't think nobody stepped it up. Nobody was up to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Salva, poor execution in the red zone is just one of the problems the Wildcats have to fix right now. So what do the Cats need to do to be more productive in the red zone?
Well, there was a moment yesterday in the game that after the Wildcats missed the field goal at the very beginning of the game, later on we went 4th and goal, and we went for it instead of going for the field goal, which shows that we definitely lack confidence for this type of with the special teams team. So.
Well, I think that was just Rich Rod trying to be aggressive. He was close, and he knew that he was playing a really good team in Oregon, and he wanted to score as many points as possible. I think to fix those red zone issues, though, you need better communication. There was a lot of communication errors. Some of those interceptions that Matt Scott threw were because of communication errors. And also, I don't see Matt Scott going to his tight ends enough in the red zone. The tight ends are specifically used for the red zone. And
yeah, but we could blame that on the offensive coordinator who calls those kind of plays, especially in the red zone. It's just not Matt Scott. I mean, I think to fix those problems in the red zone, and we have to improve definitely a third down conversion, where it was really bad last game. And like I said last week, I didn't think Matt Scott. I thought Matt Scott was going to get a couple of picks. And you guys said he wasn't. I knew he was going to get a couple of picks. He ended up getting 3 picks. So. At the end, it just, I don't know. There's a lot of things that they need to be fixed, but I think at this point in time, what they really need to fix right now is the morality of the team, because this could go really bad for next week.
Well, I felt like the morality of the team was really good going into this game.
Oh,
yeah.
The
going into the game.
The defense was on fire coming out. They looked like they really wanted to win. I think just the offense was really nervous. They just got to relax and show some more poise in the red zone. And like you said, convert well on third down better, and I think they can do that by just going to the tight ends more and definitely going over plays better and doing better with their communication.
Well, Joey, up next we have Oregon State, and they're coming off a really big upset against UCLA. Is this game a must-win for Arizona, and can we actually win this one?
Absolutely, this is a must-win. If they don't win this game, that's going to be 2 losses in a row. And then next week, they're going to play Stanford. So I don't see them beating Stanford. So that could potentially be 3 losses in a row now. It can't be like that. And all the momentum is going to be washed away if they don't win next week. So they got to win.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. Just because I can't even, the criticism that's going to form upon Rich Rod after if we don't win this Oregon State game is going to be huge, and it's just another team that we need to beat that's ranked at home. Let's go the Oklahoma State route instead of the Oregon route.
That's right. I totally agree with her. But that being said, I think we have to think rationally about this. I don't think we're as good as people made us to be after we beat Oklahoma State. No. I don't think we're as bad as what happened this very weekend. I think we're not that good before. We're not that bad now. I think we can beat Oregon State, and I think we should beat Oregon State.
Absolutely. I think they can beat Oregon State because it's at home. They feed really well off that home field advantage. The Zona Zoo is always going crazy. I expect a completely different game than they played against Oregon.
All right, thanks, guys. When we return, we'll discuss the tight playoff races in Major League Baseball. Stay tuned.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
We're going to bring it up again.
Yeah.
She's having trouble with the top.
Make no mistake, I don't do anything for free. I keep my enemies closer than my mirror ever gets to me. And if you think that there is shelter in this attitude, where do you feel the warmth of my gratitude? I get the feeling that it's 2 against 1. I'm already fighting me, so what's another one?
Come game time, pressure falls on the shoulders of this season's drum major.
For an entire week, there's golfing, food, drinks, and entertainment that doesn't stop when the sun goes down.
If you are not yet registered to vote, here's what an Arizona voter registration form looks like.
Bundle up, Wildcats, winter is almost here. Reporting from the UA Mall for Wildcats, I'm Shay Sorensen.
In Major League Baseball, every respected division in the National League has been won. The playoff picture is starting to unfold. However, the American League East, Central Wildcard, and National League Wildcard are still up in the air. Joey, the New York Yankees are leading the American League East, but they're just one game ahead of the Baltimore Orioles. Who do you think will emerge as the AL East winner in the end?
Well, I think you got to go with the New York Yankees because they have more experience. They got veterans who have been there before. They won the World Series just 3 years ago. Andy Pettitte, Curtis Granderson, Derek Jeter, Rafael Soriano, CC Sabathia, Hiroki Kuroda, they're all doing pretty well this season. So I think it's just you got to go with the Yankees because they're always there in the end. They're the team that has been winning the AL East consistently year upon year besides when the Red Sox won it in 07. And yeah, so I got to go with the Yankees. I don't think the Orioles can pull it off.
Okay, with that, Evan, the Detroit Tigers have battled to being just half a game behind the Chicago White Sox. Can they ultimately pull through the win against the American League in the American League Central?
I think the Detroit Tigers are actually going to take it, just based off of schedule, really, because the White Sox, they play Tampa Bay. Well, first they play the Indians, Tampa Bay, and then Indians again. So that's a tougher schedule than what the Tigers have, which is Royals, Twins, and then Royals again. The Tigers just lost against the Twins today. The doubleheader lost both games. But the White Sox also got swept by the Angels. So Tigers are a game behind, but I still believe that they can pull it out and clinch that spot.
Yeah, both teams are playing kind of poor right now, but I just feel that Detroit has the better team. On paper, definitely the better team, but I think in reality as well, Prince Fielder has been batting very well. Miguel Cabrera could be the Triple Crown winner, so I expect Detroit to be there. Justin Verlander is an ace. Max Scherzer is having a great season as well, so I think in the end, the Detroit Tigers are going to be there.
Okay, Salva, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are 2.5 games behind the American League wild card, and the Milwaukee Brewers are in the same exact situation, except they trail in the National League's wild card. Can the current leaders hold on, or will the Brewers and Angels pull off big comebacks to make it into the playoffs?
I gave the Brewers a better chance than the Angels because the Brewers are trailing behind St. Louis, and the Angels are trailing behind the Oakland A's. And Oakland A's have been shown season upon season that they're really good during the regular season, not so good in playoff time. But Billy Beane has constructed one of those sabermetric teams that at the end I think will be good enough to maintain the lead. I don't know about St. Louis with Milwaukee. However, that being said, I'm rooting for the Angels since the past co-host of the show, Derek Fransing, one of our friends, now works for them. So I really hope the Angels gets the spot and hopefully wins the World Series and our friend gets a ring. So.
Well, I think Atlanta's definitely going to hold on. They have the big lead. They got 88 wins. St. Louis is the one that the Milwaukee Brewers are trying to chase. But St. Louis just got back Chris Carpenter, who is their ace starting pitcher. They're the defending World Series champions, so they know how to get it done. They know how to win. So I expect Atlanta and St. Louis to be there. I think the AL is going to remain the same as well. The Angels have the best team on paper, I think, by far out of any of the wild card teams. However, in reality, I don't think they're going to do it. They went out and spent a lot of money this offseason on Albert Pujols, C.J. Wilson, and they traded for Zach Greinke at the deadline. They've made so many moves, but I just don't see it happening in reality for them. Great team on paper, though.
I think
Great team on paper.
I agree with that. I also give a shot to Mike Trout, which is.
Oh, Mike Trout is Rookie of the Year by far.
And might be MVP of the year.
And possibly MVP.
So he'd be the first player since 1973 if he wins both awards. So maybe I don't know.
Which would be a nice personal accolade, but the goal is always to get to the playoffs, and I just don't see the Angels there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, thanks, guys. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll give you a rundown of UA sports news as well as a West Coast NFL report, so don't change the channel.
I see those clones looking down on me, but unlike those clones, this dog is free. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life.
Welcome back, guys. The Arizona Wildcats hockey team began their 2012 campaign 2-0 after sweeping Northern Arizona in Flagstaff. The last time the Wildcats began the season 2-0 was in 2007. Also, yesterday, Arizona women's volleyball squad fell 3-1 to the 5th-ranked Washington Huskies at the McHale Center. Washington improved their record to 11-0, while Arizona dropped to 9-4. On a more positive note, the Arizona women's soccer team pulled off a 2-1 upset victory over number 15 California, and the Lady Wildcats concluded non-conference play earlier today, losing to Pacific 2-0. The Wildcat men's tennis team wrapped up their play in 2012 Aggie Invitational today. Both of the Wildcats doubles teams lost, one to New Mexico State and the other to Abilene Christian. Ben Lee lost his singles match for the Cats 6-2 and 6-4 to New Mexico State's Eduardo Cabrera. And now we'll give you the NFL West Coast report. The Arizona Cardinals improved to 3-0 after an impressive 27-6 victory over the Philadelphia Eagles at home. The San Francisco 49ers went on the road and were upset by the Minnesota Vikings 24-13. The Oakland Raiders used the home field advantage of the Black Hole and upset the Pittsburgh Steelers 34-31. Seattle Seahawks will be on national TV at home on Monday when they face the Green Bay Packers. Analysts, which team has surprised you the most so far this season?
I've got to go with the New Orleans Saints because they have a horrific defense, 32nd in opponents' rushing yards, 26 in opponents passing. You can just tell that they miss Sean Payton right now. Sean Payton, remember, is suspended for the entire season. And how can Drew Brees be your quarterback and your team is this bad? They lost to Kansas City 27-24 today in overtime, and it's not going to get any easier for them, folks. They go to Lambeau Field next weekend to play Green Bay.
I'm going to have to say the Cardinals. I said that last time, but it's pretty obvious. We're 3-0. That's obviously surprising. Kevin Cobb really doing work out there. 222 yards, 17 of 24 completion, finally getting to fix this game too. 9 passes for 114 yards. So really looking good for the Cardinals. Am I completely convinced? Probably not. Kind of reminds me of our Arizona Wildcats, 3-0, looking great, and then just so.
Well, that was mean to do
I know,
that.
right?
That
I'm
was
sorry.
really mean of you to do
I'm
that.
just bitter right now.
Yeah, everybody's bitter, but the Cardinals are really surprising me too. I would have never believed anyone if they told me that they were going to beat New England in New England and then beat Philadelphia the next week. And also, who knew about Kevin Cobb? He was benched while at the start of the season, for John Skelton. Now John Skelton's hurt, and Cobb stepped up, and now he's the leader of that team, and he's led them to 2 really impressive victories in a row. So.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are actually just a little 7 straight home game wins, which is the second longest streak in franchise history. So that's kind of
Little
fun
stats.
for all the Phoenix people.
Okay, but the Cardinals' longest winning streak. Come on, we're talking about the Cardinals.
Come
here.
on, just give them a little bit, okay?
Okay,
I'm
fine.
from Phoenix, so
Fine,
we need
fine,
a little
fine.
encouragement
You
over
know,
there.
before the Super Bowl season, they were ranked the worst team in sports and any sport.
I mean,
So it's good.
makes sense.
It does, but let's give them the credit. They're 3-0.
I
Let's
know.
be happy for them. Good
We're
job,
happy.
Cardinals. I'm happy for you.
Salva, who you got?
Oh, sorry. I don't have 2 teams. I have 2 players, and those 2 players are Matt Ryan and RG3. I was not expecting Matt Ryan to go the way he is. Best player, best quarterback at the moment in the NFL. Also best quarterback in the NFL fantasy football. And RG3, I mean, impressive rookie season, especially he was number 2 after Andrew Luck. I didn't think he was going to do as well as he's doing, and it works out great for me because he's my starting quarterback on fantasy football. So I'm surprised with those 2 players, how the outcome, especially Matt Ryan, really solid in all aspects of the game.
Yeah, and Matty Ice had a lot of doubters at the beginning of the season because of his track record in the playoffs. He's never won a playoff game before, but
That's right.
This year he looks like he's on a mission. The Boston College grad is having a phenomenal season. And yeah, you're right with RG3 as well. He looks like he's the rookie of the year right now. He's doing things with his legs. He's making plays with his legs and his arm. He's showing that he can throw, run. He's a complete package, and he looks like he's got a good head on his shoulders. And yeah, I'm surprised by them as well.
The hype was true.
That's right.
RG3 really is that good.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll give some predictions for the game against Oregon State next week. We'll be right back.
Hi, David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
All right, welcome back. We're here to play some contender or pretender, where our analysts will give some feedback on some different sports subjects. But first, we'll also talk some more about some Arizona football. So, Evan, that was an ugly loss last night for Arizona football. Are they contenders or pretenders?
Contenders or pretenders, it's so hard for me because obviously I feel like I was never fully convinced that we deservingly should have been ranked. I know that's the idea when you win a big game that you should be ranked.
You're mean, Evan.
I'm sorry, I'm so harsh on them right now. But like I said, I don't think we expected to get beat.
Not that bad.
No, not that bad. No, not at all. But
There was articles all over saying this is going to be an offensive shootout, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It was only
continue,
one.
continue.
So I think they're in between pretenders and
You're either a contender or a pretender, Evan.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can I just say Bonanno is a pretender though?
Oh.
He wins special teams, Pac-12, right? We're all thinking, all right, we got this. Kicker horribleness. I'm so good with my vocabulary today.
But why do people think that? He was 3 out of 6 coming into this game. Even though he was Pac-12 special teams guy.
No, I understand
Because he went
that.
4 for 4 against Oklahoma State.
So that's where people were
And
convinced,
9 of 9
right?
on his extra points against
And
Oklahoma
so, but he's a pretender to me. Our kicking woe is
Special
not
teams,
over. Yeah.
And the snapper?
Get rid of him. No, I'm kidding. I'm so sorry. But they're pretenders.
All right, you're a bully, Evan. I'm gonna say that Arizona football is a contender because of those first 3 games. They looked phenomenal, and I think they were being pretenders in the last game, pretending to be worse than they really are. So I'm gonna have faith, and I'm gonna say that Arizona is a contender. I'm gonna win they're gonna be pretenders if they don't win against Oklahoma State. Or Oregon State, excuse me though. If they don't beat Oregon State, they're pretenders. But
I'm with you on that.
I'll stick with pretenders for the only reason is contenders to what? Rose Bowl? BCS game?
Contenders as in
A bowl game?
Are they
Maybe
taken
that.
seriously?
yeah.
Are they taken seriously?
Oh, no, it's not. No. Rich Rod is not the team. In fact, every single time I hear an interview on ESPN or Fox Sports Radio or anything, and they talk to Rich Rod, they only ask him about Michigan, which is pretty bad.
Well, he's still got to establish
That's a little
some
harsh.
things on
No, but
Arizona.
You thought I was mean.
Pretender.
You are.
Pretender. Call me mean.
All right, Joey, at the beginning of the season, the Baltimore Orioles were not expected to be leading the Wildcat or only a game behind the Yankees for the first in the AL East. Are the O's contenders or pretenders?
Well, I think that the Orioles are pretenders. They're definitely going to be in the playoffs, so they're contenders in that sense. But as for making a deep playoff run, I don't expect it. Their cumulative batting average is .248, so they're not very good at hitting. They have a solid bullpen, but nobody really has any experience in the playoffs on that team, and I just see them losing in the first round. So I'm going to say the Orioles are pretenders. But I would never have expected them to be doing the things that they have been doing this season. So congrats to them on that at least.
All right, so we have 2 pretenders so far. Salva, back to the Cardinals.
Hey. I said Arizona.
You were
Arizona
outnumbered
football is contender.
You were outnumbered 2-1. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
All right, Salva. The Cardinals are off to a 3-0 start with consecutive wins over 2 really good football teams, the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles today. Are the Cards contenders or pretenders?
I think they're contenders towards making the playoffs. I don't think they're contenders towards making it far in the playoffs. I think it's really early in the season. More games would even things out. They might make the playoffs. I expect them, if they do, to lose in the first round, because I don't think they can deal with a guy like a Peyton Manning or anything like that. So no, I will go with pretenders in that and under those circumstances. I also don't think the quarterback. Yeah, Kolb is doing really good. I just don't think he's good enough quarterback to make it deep on the playoffs.
And yeah, you're right. It is pretty early to judge them on being contenders or pretenders. But if you're beating teams like the Patriots and the Eagles, that's pretty darn impressive for what you were expected to do. I agree with you, though. I think if they even made the playoffs, they would be bounced in the first round. But this is crazy what they're doing right now. And we'll see if they can keep up this consistency. I don't know if they will, but so far I've been really impressed by Kevin Kolb overall, by the Cardinals overall. And, you could bash Kolb all you want, but he's been playing pretty well these past few weeks.
Yeah, I think he's become more of a contender than a pretender. Obviously, he just closed games against huge teams, so I still believe that they're kind of like the Arizona Wildcats, hyped up right now. But we'll see. I call him a contender as of right now.
And Kolb had haters on haters on haters before the season.
I
Everybody's like, oh, let's play Skelton. He's way better than Kolb. But it looks like it's worked out so far that Kolb has taken over. Yeah.
I think contenders to make the playoffs. I think they have a chance. I don't think they make it far in it. But
right.
Yeah,
I agree on that.
So contender or pretender? Do we have
over Super Bowl pretender?
Pretender.
Absolutely.
Kevin Kolb is not.
Not Super Bowl.
Yeah.
playoffs
I'm not
contender.
I'm not even saying Super Bowl like winner. I'm saying Super Bowl game to make it to the game. No.
Oh, no.
No.
All right,
Pretender.
thanks, guys.
I'm a hater.
Yep.
All right, don't forget the Arizona Wildcats return home to play the 18th ranked Oregon State Beavers. Analysts, give me a prediction for next week's game.
Well, Oregon State's got a pretty darn good defense. They held Wisconsin to just 7 points, and Wisconsin at the time was number 13, I believe, and they're 18th in points against. Brandon Cook is a great receiver for them. He's got 12 catches for 255 yards. I think that's around 21 yards per catch. My glass is half full, though. I said the Wildcat football team are contenders. I think because it's at home, because the Zona Zoo is going to be going nuts the whole time, because Rich Rod has that can-do attitude, and he's gutsy and a great coaching staff, I think that this weekend is going to be a lot different than last weekend, and the Wildcats are going to win 27-17.
I think they're winning too. I'm going to give some hope in there. I think I really like Rich Rod. I think he's done a great job and really given them the I can do it attitude. So I'm having them win. It's Oregon State's beat number 19 and number 13. That's huge, but I'm going to be positive too. We beat a ranked team at home. There's something in Zona Zoo that just really hypes them up. I'm with Joey.
I think for Arizona to win this game, we'll have to have more stability in the quarterback position. If things go according to plan, I think we should be winning this game because we're playing at home. But I also think that if we start like switching quarterbacks in and out because he gets a couple picks in the first half, we're gonna lose this game because this team Oregon State's not bad at all. So my prediction is it'll be a close game. We'll win 21-17.
Well, I really just think that Matt Scott played as bad as he did just because he was used to playing at home the whole season. Then he goes to Outson Stadium, which has a ton of fans cheering against him that could have screwed up the communications with them. I just feel like Matt Scott really feeds off the crowd at Arizona Stadium and that he can be able to play much better than he did last weekend.
Yeah, because I think he is an emotional
last
player.
night. Yes, he is a very emotional player.
And so, I mean, with 58,000 ducks, that would get in my mind too. I'd be a little irritated. But so I think as long as they stay consistent in what they've done, the 3 games that they did win, I think they'll do just fine.
I think they were just trying too hard last night. They were just trying to be perfectionists, and they weren't sticking to their regular football instincts. You know.
I agree. Last game, it showed the inexperience of the Arizona team. It's a pretty young team, and even though we have an experienced quarterback, it's the first season starting, so let's hope for the best.
I was beyond impressed with the defense though because
that defense was something yesterday.
I've never the first half.
Yeah, and they were on the field the whole time in the second half because the offense couldn't get a first down in the second. So I mean, you gotta expect a blowout to happen like that. The defense is going to be gassed towards the end, but
All right, thanks, guys. Well, it's time for the final word. Each one of the analysts will have 30 seconds to discuss a sports topic of their choosing. I'm going to toss it up to Salva first. You have 30 seconds.
So I'll go with. There's been talks lately that the NBA will get rid of the dream team mentality at the Olympics. I totally support it because I believe that USA basketball has nothing to win at the Olympics and a lot to lose, including having a player injured. So that's what I would just really want to say. I think the NBA should get rid of the team and maybe take college kids next time. I don't think winning a gold medal is worth the hassle.
Come on, man. It's so entertaining, though, to see
Evan,
Kobe Bryant and
you guys are
LeBron
stealing
playing
Evan's
side by
thunder.
side.
You're taking my 30 seconds.
Oh, well, you didn't start it yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Evan,
All right,
Evan, you have 30
I'm
seconds.
Joey. Okay, I'm going to talk about alum Channing Frye. Super unfortunate. He has the virus of an enlarged heart. Last season he was out with a right shoulder injury. Hasn't really caught a break. I mean, I feel bad for him, obviously, because it takes something away that someone loves, and so he's out indefinitely. I wish the best for him. He's a great alum, too. Definitely supports. He was tweeting all about the Oregon game yesterday. Even got a little embarrassed, but it's fine.
It's going to be
Joey?
sad to not have him there, but okay, all right.
Joey,
the clock
you
is
have
starting.
30
The clock is
seconds.
starting. Let's go. All right. So I just want to say to Torrey Smith and his family that I'm very sorry about the loss of Torrey Smith's younger brother. He died in a motorcycle accident. Very unfortunate. But Torrey Smith, earlier in the game against New England, he caught a touchdown pass. It was very emotional. The flags were thrown. I thought the refs were going to take it away. I was about to go, you better not do that, NFL replacement officials. You should all be fired. But they gave it to him, and I'm just really happy for him tonight, and I just wish the best of luck to him and his family.
Those were awesome 30 seconds, guys. Thank you. That will wrap up tonight's episode of Dorm Room Sports Chat. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be here next week with another exciting episode. For Salva, Evan, and Joey, I'm Emmy Comia.
Peace.